Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Motherhood on the Move with yours truly, Brittany Nettles. Last week, if you listened, I mentioned that I had to skip a podcast episode because my son Teddy, was sick. He got plagued by some cold that's been going around. It was pretty gnarly. But I had to take a break. I said to myself, I cannot publish this episode. I do not have any more bandwidth or capacity to fine tune this episode, make the final edits, because I am behind the scenes doing it all myself. I'm still a one-man band. And draft the show notes and upload to Spotify and all the things that go into creating and publishing an episode. I said to myself, I simply cannot do it. And it was in that moment that I had to remind myself that it's okay to change your mind. And more importantly, take the fucking break. Looking you square in the eye when I say that, because it is not only a reminder to myself, but a reminder to you, especially the moms out there who are burning the candle at both ends, to take the fucking break. Excuse my French. I think it's something that is incredibly challenging for all of us to do because we want to do everything at 100%, which is a lie. We can't do that. It's 100% a myth, especially when you have a few hats that you're wearing. I had to pump the brakes and tell myself, I cannot do this right now. This needs to be a no, full stop. So when I started this podcast, I knew that I wanted to do it with my full ass, nothing half-assed, full ass. And I had to also remind myself that there are going to be times when I cannot do that. It's unrealistic for me to think that I can, because this is not my full-time job. I do have a full-time job, and that is selling real estate. This content creation is purely a side hustle and fun creative project. And it's okay if that comes in second or third or fourth or fifth. And last week it had to come in very last, whatever that was at the moment, because my son and my family and my mental health and my physical health were my priority. So I took a break and I reminded myself that it's okay to change your mind. Just because I can't put out my weekly episode doesn't mean that I'm failing or I'm letting people down. In fact, I think I'm making people proud by putting down the microphone, not tiring and exhausting myself, because my energy was fully drained and depleted. And the people in my world want to see me succeed and want to see me healthy and not overwhelming and exhausting myself, because I am a chronic doer of exactly that. So when I thought to myself, I need to take a break, I gave myself the same coaching that I would give to a friend who would have been in the same situation. So I wanted to share that message this week. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, I wanted to put out a weekly podcast episode, but it's also okay if I cannot do that. It's okay if I need to change my frequency to a bi-weekly release, an episode every 2 weeks, because I cannot be human and show up in my work and show up for my family and do this additional, arguably full-time job. And I cannot do that as consistently as I'd like, and that's totally fine. When I was originally brainstorming and engaging support to help launch the podcast, I spoke to one of my right hands and experts in podcasting, and she asked, how frequently do you plan to release an episode? And I said to her, weekly. She said, really? That's ambitious. And I said, yep. Do you expect anything less? Of course she didn't expect anything less. I'm psychotic when it comes to my commitments. I am consistent. When I do something, I do it all. And I do it all until I feel like I've truly given it a good run. And I'll check in with myself and decide if this is still working or not, which is an incredibly healthy characteristic, in my opinion. For those of you out there who share that and identify that, I think it's really cool. I think it's cool when you get passionate and you be ambitious. Ambition is cool, but it's not cool when it leads to exhaustion and fatigue and it becomes a chore. Not everything needs to be exciting and invigorating all the time, but when it's something that is truly crippling you or doing you a disservice, reevaluate it. It's kind of like your relationships, right? It's okay to reevaluate your friendships and your relationships from time to time. In fact, I think doing relationship audits are really healthy for you and everyone else. And it's okay to do that with whatever career you have, or hobby you have, or side hustle you have, or new sport you're playing, or commitment that you have, or again, relationship that you're in. I give that coaching to everyone else. Why can't I give that to myself? So I did exactly that last week, and I just wanted to come on and share a short episode reminding everyone it's okay for you to do the same. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay for you to reevaluate whatever it is that you're doing and say, yes, this is still working, or no, this is no longer working. And I'm not here to say that I am committing to the biweekly podcast episode release. I am confidently sticking to the weekly schedule for now. And if that changes, I will let you know. But from time to time, I'm human. This is not my full time job. This is for funsies. And I love it so much. And I'm going to keep it as fun as possible for as long as I can, so that I can keep showing up for everyone, because the genuine response that I'm getting from listeners out there is so motivating and so deeply nourishing and rewarding for me. And I feel like I'm making a difference, and I feel like I'm connecting with other people in a way that I haven't been able to. Well, I have been able to before, but on a more singular level, I feel like now I can reach people in masses, and I'm not trying to sit here and, step on my soapbox, but I think it's really cool that I can connect with people from afar, and it's cultivating new relationships and reminding me of existing relationships that I have too. Some people from high school have reached out to me and said, "Wow, that was an awesome episode, and you're so wise and relatable." And I'm not looking for the praise. I'm looking for the connection and the reminder that I'm not doing this alone, and I'm certainly having the same struggles, the same thoughts, the same convictions. And that's really the purpose here. The purpose is to educate and connect. The end. And, many other things in between. But they're the two primary goals of this podcast, and one of them is certainly not exhaustion. So I hope that makes sense. The message is clear. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in and listening and supporting and liking and commenting and sharing. Please subscribe. Look forward to next week's conversation, and have a great day.